exclusive video of the historic flooding in Yellowstone National Park.
Chopper 5 flying above the destruction today, capturing roads completely washed out.
Park officials are saying now there is so much damage, some of these areas won't reopen this season.
I've heard this is a 1,000-year event, whatever that means these days. They seem to be happening more and more frequently.
Here's what we know tonight. All park visitors have been evacuated except for a small group of backpackers. Right now, the water is still too high for crews to get in and assess the damage. That probably will not happen until next week. But officials believe the northern part of the park has been hit the hardest.
Here's a look at where roads have been turned into rivers. Floodwaters have left a trail of destruction along what's called that northern loop. The roads most seriously impacted are between Mammoth and Gardiner from Lamar Valley to Cook City. Those are the trouble spots that officials fear will remain closed for the entire season. We have team coverage tonight. Lauren Steinbrecher is with the uncertainty being felt by a Utah tour company.
Going to start things off with Alex Cabrero. He's live in West Yellowstone tonight. And Alex, you talked with a Utah family stranded in the hardest hit area.
Right, Mike, the Kriegers who live in Ogden, they were up here in Yellowstone celebrating their son's birthday, plus their daughter-in-law. She had never been to Yellowstone before, so they figured, why not? Of course, they took photos of many of the popular tour spots, like the entrance sign here. But when they made it to Gardiner, Montana, the main focus of all their photos started to change.
It's really special every time we get a chance to go.
Of all the pictures and memories
Back to the beginning.
Rick and Tammy Krieger have of Yellowstone National Park,
And we spent our honeymoon there.
this trip is truly one they will never forget.
We watched the river swell.
This is video they took of those rivers, knowing they weren't supposed to be this high.
It's hard to remember how big the river was when you look at it like that, because it's like 10 times the size that it should have been.
And when the bridges went out, they realized they were trapped in the small town of Gardiner, Montana. Even watched this cabin fall into the river.
We were an island, you know, and it was an interesting experience. I'm 62 years old and I've never heard anything quite like this.
They were stuck for about a day,
Some of these sides of these logs coming through was crazy.
along with hundreds, if not thousands, of other park visitors.
It was something.
Until this morning, when word spread there was one road that was opened where people could leave if they left right away.
One for the history books, literally.
They're sad knowing lots of places were damaged in the park, but can't wait to go back one day.
It is a very special place, and it'll be again.
Yeah, the Kriegers should be back home to Ogden by now. Of course, they weren't the only ones from Utah up here in Yellowstone National Park the past couple of days. I chatted with a few of them on the phone and through social media who say that they had to make other plans, of course, but the hard part was finding other places to stay. Other hotels and campsites have booked up pretty fast. We will chat with a couple of them tomorrow as we continue our coverage, Mike and Dini, of this historic event up here in a place a lot of people consider extremely special.
Yeah.
Back to you.
We look forward to those reports. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, Alex.